group multiplication table for C2v point group. That is, C2v point group has four different elements. What are the elements means? E is one of the element, C2 is the principal axis, sigma is a vertical plane, sigma b is another vertical plane. This should be written in a form of a table. That is, a table. Group multiplication table means we should see whether the commutative law are valid or not. Because of that one, all the elements are written in the horizontal way as well as in the vertical way. That is, we should follow the same order. That is, whichever the order you are followed here, the same order should be followed. Then at the intersection of the table, at the intersection of the product, you should write the product. That is, E into E is E. E into C2 is C2. E into sigma A is sigma A. E into sigma B is sigma B. That is, you should see the identity element. That is, E is nothing but an identity element. E is multiplied with C2, E is multiplied with sigma A, and E is multiplied with sigma B. The same sense you should follow in the vertical sense also. The same product you should follow in the vertical sense. That means the first row and the first column you will retain the product. You will retain the product. Next, suppose if you come to the second, that is C2 is multiplied with C2. When you multiply C2, that is 2 C2 operation, you will get back the identity. 2 sigma A operations, you will get back the identity. 2 sigma B operations, you will get back the identity. Now, suppose if you want to find out C2 into sigma A. C2 into sigma A, as I discussed in the earlier rules, C2 into sigma A means C2 should be operated on sigma A. That is, I will apply C2. That is, I will consider A and B hydrogens with subscript A and B. When I apply C2, hydrogen A and B will get interchange. Next, for this system, I should apply sigma A. That is, sigma A this is nothing but a vertical plane. Sigma A vertical plane. When I apply sigma A, next what happens? A and B interchanges once again. This can be obtained by a single operation. Which is that operation? Sigma B operation. That means C2 into sigma A is sigma B. That is, C2 into sigma A is sigma B. Next, I should see the commutative law. That is, I should change in another way. That is, sigma A is operated on C2. Sigma A is operated on C2. Sigma A is operated on C2. That is the same water you should take. Sigma A is operated on C2. That is, sigma A I am applying first. In this case, sigma A was operated second. In this case, sigma A is operated first. When I apply sigma A, that is when I apply the vertical reflection, that is reflection in this angle, reflection in this way, HA and HB will interchange. To that system, I should apply C2. When I apply C2, what happens? These two hydrogen A and B will get interchange. And this entire configuration can be obtained by single operation, that is sigma B operation, that it tells C2 into sigma A is sigma B. Sigma A into C2 is sigma B. That means the commutative law is valid. That is, sigma A into C2 is sigma B. The commutative law is valid. That is, next we should find out C2 into sigma B in the same way. If you see the same operation, if you do the operation in the same way, that is, first I should apply C2 and then sigma B. I will see that C2 into sigma B is sigma A. and sigma B into C2 is sigma A, and then sigma A into sigma B is C2, and sigma B into sigma A is C2. That is, when I do this operation, I will come to know that is sigma B into sigma A is C2 and sigma A into sigma B is C2. Now, see the dotted line along the diagonal. You are having E, identity element, and compare left hand side and right hand side along the diagonal. When you compare left hand side and right hand side of the diagonal, what happens? There is similar elements. There are similar elements. For example, when you take a diagonally, when you consider along the right side and left side, you will see similar elements. What it tells is that the product of sigma B into sigma A and sigma A into sigma B is C2. It tells that the group is abelian group. The group is abelian group. See, C2, C2, sigma A, sigma A, sigma B, sigma B, sigma B, sigma B, sigma A, sigma A, C2, C2. The product is, that is, C2v point group is an abelian group.